In our video series, we've been looking at ways to help you be your successful best self and, not to rise to anyone else's standards, right? We've been talking about that, but really truly developing your own. Now, in that last video, we had talked about what it takes, right, to shine at 100% bright so that you make an impact in the world. You get out there and make that positive difference that you want to make, and whatever that definition of success is for you. But again, sometimes stress and other things in our lives hold us back. And, especially, right, those labels and things that we have just grown up to believe about ourselves stop us from being 100% bright, right? So let's look at a strategy that's going to help you to move beyond that. And I call this the AVO empowerment strategy. And it's just very, very simple, right? There's you. There's your brain, right? Everything that's been programmed in your brain. And I tell you, reprogramming your brain takes time, takes consistency. And the more consistent you are with it, purpose-driven, going toward the goals that you see yourself achieving, that is how you are going to reprogram your brain. But this AVO empowerment strategy is going to help you get there, because you've got to accept where you're at. Because when you don't accept yourself, you judge yourself, you abuse yourself. Now, not literally, physically abusing yourself, although sometimes that does happen. But I mean, you abuse yourself in subtle ways, and you don't stick to your word or your commitments and, how you see yourself. You keep going back to that identity, to those beliefs that other people have given you. And it takes commitment, right, to stay true to who you want to be. And when you accept yourself and accept that, every day I am just doing the best I can and I'm moving forward toward my dream. But you got to appreciate that journey, right? You have to appreciate the fact that the people that kind of programmed you with those beliefs and gave you that identity were just doing the best they could. But you now have that opportunity to see your value, right? Your value. And this is something where I talk about value all the time, and especially when it comes to empowerment. When you value yourself, when you, accept, appreciate, and truly value every experience that you've had in your life, and you don't allow other people to make you feel bad about where you are in life, and you don't compare yourself to other people, and you just truly value yourself, then no one else can control you, right? That's when you own you. And that's why own is at the top, because you own you. And whatever version of you that is, again, you don't have to be perfect, and you don't have to live up to other people's standards and definitions of who you should be. You just allow yourself to evolve and develop. And I say organically, but there is a purpose and a process to that. You don't allow other events and other situations to determine where you're going. You take ownership of where you want to go. And you take ownership of everything that you do, right? How you show up, right? Your online presence. Take ownership of that, right? Be that new identity that you want to align with, and see yourself that way and show up that way, and show up in person, right? When people are talking to you and communicating with you, and you step back to maybe an old identity that someone gave you, and you're like, that's not me anymore. That's not who I choose to be anymore. I choose to be this way. And take ownership of that and say, I choose to be that way. And again, this is just always evolving, and you see that vision of who you want to be, and each step gets you there. So use the AVO strategy and connect with it so that you can shine bright, right? You can shine bright. I've had students ask those questions, right? Yeah, that's great. I know I want to be bright, but how do I shine bright? How do I get there? And this is the strategy that's going to help you get there. All right, make sure you're leaving your comments in the comment section below, sharing with me, right, some other ideas. And again, I love your feedback. You are so amazing. You're brilliant. And you just got to trust that. You have to trust yourself. You got this. And each day, right, just going toward your dreams and enjoy the journey. Remember to enjoy, accept, appreciate, value, and own it. I'm your instructor, Louise and Maurice. Let us continue.